Yes, how to drag objects around. I hadn't really covered this because I was unsure myself as the best way to go about it. The cursor's moving like that with a single finger, and the tap to select is lovely, or just click. But when you want to move something, how do you do that? Well, a lot of people just put their thumb on and then move things like that. And that gives you sort of control and acceleration before, and you can move greater distances, but you eventually do run out of room and you feel that you've got to let go of things. When you let go, you then have to reselect. So there are other options. There's a thing called three-finger drag. Now, three-finger drag has disappeared out of the options for the trackpad here. It's now in the accessibility options. Not sure why they put it here, but it's now lives in here. So we want to be able to drag without holding our thumb or our finger on the pad as we do it. So you have enable dragging on. Then you have these three options in here. So three-finger drag, go for that. Say OK to that. What does that do? Well, three-finger drag allows you to drag over something and you get this marquee. And having got that, you can now move, and I'm not having to hold anything. Now, a lot of people do use this, and it's good because you don't have to keep your thumb or keep your finger pressed on the trackpad. But the problem with it is it kills the three-finger swipe. Three-finger swipe is now selecting a marquee over things. So I haven't got that lovely movement that we had before where we're going to the next edit and the previous edit and the top of the sequence and the end of the sequence. That's now been disabled. So we won't use the three-finger drag because I think having the ability to navigate the timeline up and down is the best thing about the trackpad, to be honest. So let's reinstate that. And to do that, you have to go back into the ordinary trackpad options, back to more gestures. And that needs to change to swipe with 2 or 3 fingers. You can see I've turned it back. Now it's all happening again. Lovely. My favorite feature of the trackpad. And you can see now 3-finger drag is not working because it's now taking me to the top of the sequence, the end of the sequence. Double tap takes me right out so you can see the whole sequence. Shift Z. So what other options are there in there? So let's have a look. Go back to the accessibility options here. Trackpad options. Enable dragging. So you're presented with these 3 options that allow you to drag without having to click and hold. And we've got a thing called without drag lock. What does that do? So without drag lock is a double tap operation that doesn't latch. So you double tap the clip, but don't let go. And now I can move freely around with one finger, and I'm not having to press into the trackpad. I'm just the lightest of touches. If I do let go, it drops it because it's not got a drag lock. Except it has actually. If you double tap and hold, it moves. Let go and then move it again. You've got about half a second, so you can readjust your finger if you find yourself running out of space. So you have actually got half a second to reselect it. So it gives you this half a second of grace between double tapping and holding. And see there, I missed it and it's dropped it. So you've got half a second, I reckon. I think this is really, really good. So I can go to this cut point here, double tap, and I'm dragging in and out, left and right, and I'm not pressing anything. I'm just very fluid. The way Final Cut's a very fluid thing. It's like painting, editing in Final Cut Pro 10, and this seems to really lend itself to that sort of function. Let go, but then hold again, and as long as you do it within half a second, it will stick on. Let go for more than that, you would now need to double tap and hold. On the second tap, do not lift your finger. So that's without drag lock. If you go and look at the other option, the third option, with drag lock, which is that one. So with drag lock, let's do it back on here again. Double tap. You've now got it's locked. And it will stay locked. As long as that is selected, it will always move. And to get out of this, it needs a further tap. So double tap and hold, and it locks. And you can see from my finger, you've just got this ability to move, and you can even let go for a cup of tea, come back, and it will still. And then a further click will deselect it. So if you're trimming, double tap, and I've actually let go here, and then I can still go in there and move. But to get out of it, it needs another tap. Now it's free. I find that quite difficult because I can't tell whether I'm selected or not. I find it more difficult to use than without drag lock. I favour the without drag lock, but it's it's up to you. There's three different options. I've ruled out the three finger drag because you're losing the ability to do the movements. But I love the single finger drag without the drag lock. So I'm going to go for enable dragging without drag lock. I'm going to make sure that I've got the three finger swipe enabled again, which is in more gestures. See, it's changed it. So that needs to be swipe with 2 or 3 fingers. So that gives me that. 3 finger swipe, absolutely superb. Double tap, hold. So it's latched as long as I've got my finger on the trackpad. If I were to let go, it drops it. But there is this feature where if you're quick enough, and it's half a second I reckon, double tap, let go, pick it up again. You can readjust. And I actually think that's the best thing for everything really, because it means that you can go in there, double tap, this lovely drag. And you have to drag because that's the only way you can get the 2-up display. So the keyboard doesn't give it you. There's no dynamic trimming in Final Cut 10, so you can't JKL out that cut. So it is a dragging application, and it works really well. But I think the trackpad really makes it happen. It really makes it better. It gives you all this functionality without having to click and hold and stuff. That's it, let go. So that's it. This is all reinstated. My movements up to the top of the sequence, end of the sequence, something in there, select, tap is expand, that's a toggle. The other side, right finger tap is the audio components. And that's it. I think the trackpad has definitely got my vote.